Welcome back to the RocketCast. Today, Alex has an idea for some topics. I'm going to let him take the wheel on it. What are we doing today, Alex?
Alright, so today we're going to be doing conspiracy theories. Kind of interesting topics and stuff like that we're going to be going over. I've got 7 of them in total, but we'll just see how long, this goes on for.
For sure.
But I know there's one that you and me have actually talked about before.
Have we?
And I won't get into that yet because I got them in a list. I'm going to go down from the top to bottom. What I kind of deem is most important in this order doesn't really matter. Like, all of them are pretty, like, maybe, maybe not. And then there's some that are like, huh, okay. Well, that's pretty weird. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So, but topic of today is conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You want to go ahead and know the first one?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so the first one is, now, I've been wondering this for the longest fucking time, right? Now, never really watched PewDiePie, like, in the beginning, when he first came up, because I don't know, I didn't really like his content that much. It was more, like, targeted towards the younger audience, and that was pretty obvious, right? But nowadays, he's more, targeting the older audience with his content. I mean, edgy kids, they like to watch it, older folks, they just think it's funny and whatnot, and then, he actually has, like, really good content. Like, the Pew News, like, I guess some people see that as, like, a joke, but honestly, I find it very interesting. But what I find even more interesting is why the actual news media hates him. Like, I don't understand it. I mean, like, I get it. He did have that one bit in the video where he kind of said somewhat, I guess they call it racist, stuff. And it wasn't really what he said, it was how he acted, when he dressed up in that costume and did all that. We're not going to really talk about it too much because it doesn't matter. Since that happened, he has, released an apology and all of that. But, you'll have these little spurts where the media, they'll catch fire and they'll want to put him out there again, show how bad of a guy he is. But,
and
I think
PewDiePie being brought up by the media, there's a conspiracy theory behind it?
Yeah, okay, so I don't know where I saw this video at. It was a long time ago, but it's not relevant nowadays because the way I see it, cable is dead, right?
Yeah.
My opinion, cable is dead.
Nobody
just gets on their TV and just like, okay, maybe I'll turn it to channel 5, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, people, they get on their TV and they're like, okay, what's on Hulu? What's on, Netflix? Blah, blah, blah. They don't care about cable anymore. And I feel like from the beginning of when PewDiePie started getting so big that it actually took over the YouTube platform, right? I feel like there was a shift, right? People started to realize, like, oh no, cable's going out. Like, and the people who were associated with those companies, they started to target the YouTube audience, or not the audience, per se. They started to target the people on the platform. And PewDiePie being the biggest, why wouldn't they target him? They make him seem like a bad guy. Maybe nobody would want to get on there and watch him. You know what I mean? So I feel like the conspiracy behind it was, I feel like media was trying to shift the attention back to, TV. They weren't trying it. Because, like, anybody who actually watches PewDiePie's videos, they know he's not, like, an evil person, some oh, wow, I missed that. Some white supremacist person or whatever, right? They get it's all a fucking joke. It's always been a joke, right? But still, you get these little spurts of where they want to talk about how bad he is. So, it never made any sense to me until I watched that video, and I was just like, well, he is right, though. I don't remember the last time oh, my bad. I don't remember the last time, like, I ever got on TV and was just like, let me just tune in to, like, the Discovery Channel or, I don't know, fucking Nickelodeon or some shit. Like, nobody does that. You know what I mean? Like, nowadays, if you have kids, you give them, like, the kids' version of a tablet, and it's, like, has child, child settings or something on there where they can't view certain channels and whatnot, and then they have their own, like, all these cartoons right in front of them. They don't need to get on Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and just wait for it. They just, as soon as they get on, they got it on their tablet. So the thing I'm saying is I don't think the media actually hates PewDiePie as much as they say they do. They're using it as a publicity stunt to pull people back to TV. Is what I was thinking.
So why do you think the media would target him of all people? Because like Jimmy Fallon and stuff, they're switching over to YouTube as well. Like why wouldn't media just switch
So
over
this
to
was like
that?
a long time ago, like a really long time ago when this happened, right? Because there was an award ceremony for I don't know, it was mainly for TV shows, right? And PewDiePie didn't show up to it, and I forgot the name of the girl who did it. She was hosting it, right? And he ended up winning the award for something, and she got mad. She was like, didn't know how to say his name, obviously, because he's Swedish, and I guess Felix is a hard name to, whatever, like, pronunciate. I don't know. She was trying to say his last name or something like that. And she got really pissed, and she was just like, you know what? If you want me to say your name right, you should have just shown up and got the award. And basically said it like that. And so I'm sitting here thinking, like, dang, that's actually pretty mean. You never see anybody just get up on national television and just, like, go off on someone like that.
So you think social media, like, news platforms and stuff like that are going at him because he didn't show up for a reward?
No, not saying that. I'm not saying that they're doing it because he did anything personal to him. I'm saying it because they feel threatened by the fact
so
that...
what you're saying... Okay, I get what you're saying. So, like, he's the spearhead for, like,
YouTube.
Causing the quote-unquote killing of cable, pretty much.
Yeah,
like, he's
basically. That's what I feel like happened, maybe. But there was another thing that rolled through my head. That's probably the reason why. It's a more likely scenario. Let me just put it that way, because I doubt anybody would go as far as to say that, oh yeah, this is exactly what's happening. YouTube's taking over, so they're going to start doing all these things to hate on them and whatnot. But I feel like what the problem is that news outlets nowadays, they don't get as much attention as they used to, right? And so one way to do it is to basically go out and just create these news reports, like, because most of them they're so out of context, they're so seems like almost fabricated, right? And it's basically kind of what it is, and they'll create them about Felix just because he has a large audience. There's a saying, Jesus, I really wanted that. There's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Such thing.
No such thing. No such thing. So what they do is they create this. Felix's fans, they see it and they're like, what's going on? Well, doesn't matter. They still came to the website.
Yeah, they still came to the website. They still had all the ads all over the website. They still got the money for it.
They still get the money. That's the more likely scenario that I came up with, and it makes more sense. It's not a stretch. It's a really good possibility. You know what I mean?
And how do you feel about, speaking of like the whole cable dying and whatnot? It's kind of like twisting how we view the internet and how YouTube is nowadays. Because like you got Jimmy Fallon coming over to YouTube. You got like a lot of people, like they used to be like all over like cable TV, that are just coming to YouTube now, and YouTube is now becoming very commercial and not creator influence.
I don't see it as a bad thing. This gets us more into the topic of if we think media is taking over YouTube. If deep pockets is what they're willing to invest in, right? They don't want to, invest in the creativity of the content creators. They want to invest in media, and that came back to the trending tab, how media had taken over completely all over it. There was one video, Jesus, there was one video I saw where they were doing an interview. It was the YouTuber. I don't remember his name. I don't remember the guy he was, I think, a developer at YouTube, and he was doing an interview with him, and he was doing it to get more in tune with the community, I guess. And he asked him, he was like, "Can you look at this?" He opened up his phone, went to the trending tab, and he's like, "None of this is content creators. All of this is just the media. Like every single thing on the trending tab, it was like all these news outlets, only 80,000 views, only 30,000 views, man. Like."
But you think that's you think it's a good thing though that the media is taking over a platform that was made by creators for creators, you know?
No, I don't think it's a good thing. I really don't. I feel like YouTube was a better place back then, right? Like it was a place where, you know, people could just come on, upload wherever they want. But now it's like and we'll get into this in a minute, but there's it feels like it's restraining a lot of the stuff that could be uploaded but can't anymore.
But do you think there are any kind of benefits to it? Because I can think of like maybe one or two benefits. Like YouTube back in the day, like, yeah, it was great. You could do whatever, say whatever, and it wasn't that big of a deal because it was by the creators and they built their fan base around what they were allowed to say and do. And now it's more restricted, you know, cussing and stuff, all that shit. It's more restricted now. But back in the day, in order to make money and stuff like that, like if you were gaming, all you had was machinima. Those that you had a contract that you were forced to go with if you even want any kind of money and stuff like that. But now that all these like big companies are coming in now, like Google AdSense, stuff like that, like there's a better way of making money without having to sign like a shady contract.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's in a better place than it was, but I do believe that there's a better medium that we can reach. Like this all the way just completely restraining everybody it's too much. You know what I mean? I do believe there's a point where you can't push anymore. You know what I mean? You've gotten to the limit. You can't make everybody happy, right? And people are always going to want more and more and more. They're going to want more restrictions. You know, the parents, they're going to want, you know, less edgy videos on YouTube, and you know I don't know, man. It's just
okay. So that's another thing. So like, yeah, parents they're the biggest like factor in that when it comes to like, oh, I don't want my kids watching this. Let me take down this. Oh, I saw this article about PewDiePie. Oh, he's a anti-Semite. He hates the Jews. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But if they're really worried about that, it's on YouTube to have some kind of like, or wouldn't you think it'd be on YouTube to have some kind of setting like, oh, if you have to have a YouTube, or if you have a YouTube account, you're underage, you have to have your parents consent to watch this. I know kids, like even I did it back when you had to like be a certain age to play Xbox Live.
Yeah,
you just lie about your age. But I don't know, is there a way you think to like fix that issue?
I mean, I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe they got some plan for it. I don't know. I really don't. But the way I see it is, man, like it's gonna happen either way, right? You can't control everything that happens on YouTube. You really can't.
That, or if the parents really care about what their kids are watching, and they're like, yeah, I know my kid's watching this and I hate it. Instead of writing a fucking post on Reddit, why don't they just take their kid's device and, you know, block that channel?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is some way of doing that, right? Like you have parent settings, you have
yeah. Like, I mean, it's that big of a deal. You know, your kids on these platforms, like getting your kid's email, restrict it. You can restrict everything.
Yeah. Now, the thing, the next, because I want to go ahead and move on to another. We're getting really deep into this media stuff. We'll come back to it maybe another day and do something about it. Say some more. But I wanted to get into the next topic, and it's kind of interesting, kind of not, you know.
Okay.
Now, for some people, this is gonna be very interesting. People in the West Coast, this is like y'all live in this stuff, but we're over on the East Coast, and we were like, wow, that's crazy. But the topic is the California fires. Now,
oh god, California fires. I had a buddy come to me when that shit was happening, and he showed me a video, and he was like, he's like, you see this? There's a helicopter going over, dropping fuel and flames on top of the woods. They're starting the
Oh my
California fires.
gosh.
It had no idea that that's like one of
It's
the ways
water.
that they. No. It
Water
was
buckets.
no. It wasn't water buckets. They were actually dropping fuel that was on fire into the woods, but they were doing it around where it was already caught on fire. I forget what the term for it is, but it pretty much like
Smolders the fire.
yeah, pretty much like when the fire gets to it, there's already a fire there, so it has nowhere else to continue.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
he thought
got you.
he was sitting there like the government's catching California on fire. Something big is about to happen. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Oh man. Yeah, the thing I was talking about though isn't really that. It's not along those lines, right?
Yeah.
Really what it is it's a lot more sci-fi and a lot more crazy, right?
Oh, let's get into it then. Yeah.
So apparently there was these pictures that surfaced out in California about the government having some kind of crazy laser beam weapon, right? And they are basically shooting lasers into the forest where it's the driest to start the fires.
Really?
Yes.
And who came up with that conspiracy? Watto?
No, it's actually, it looks pretty legit. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about laser beam technology now, but from the the pictures I've seen, at least, right? It looks like a legitimate god ray, like
Really?
some Fallout 76 god rays just coming down, hitting, and then starting a fire. Now, I know what you're thinking, like why?
Photoshop?
Like why? Yeah. Why would they even like do that? Like, what's the point? Where's the conspiracy here, right? The reason why they did it is because there was a lot of nuclear waste or some kind of fallout or whatever. You could check Shane Dawson's video on it. I watched it a while back, and he goes more in depth on it than I do, or I will. But basically, what he was talking about is there was some nuclear waste, and they wanted to get rid of it. And the way they did it is they started a fire up north and moved it more down south to make the basically the nuclear waste burn out, right? They were just trying to like burn it out. And ended up where the fire started and spread, ended up getting like a lot of people sick. The the nuclear fallout or whatever you want to call it started moving more down towards the south, and it started spreading, and it started hitting actual neighborhoods.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the ash and the smoke of falling into the air or out of the air like rain and getting people sick. It was the nuclear fallout.
No. Children started getting like I think cancer and whatnot. As the
From the California forest fire?
Yeah. Like the nuclear waste was really, really radioactive, dude. Like it was like.
Wait, so they're saying the nuclear waste was a real thing, or like is that a fact, or is that a conspiracy theory?
It's a complete fact. The nuclear waste that got burnt, that was a complete fact. You can go look it up. Where the plant was, that's a damn fact.
Oh, okay. So there was a plant and there was waste.
Oh yeah.
And you think the government was trying to burn it off?
Yeah, because that was an abandoned nuclear site.
Why don't they do what they always do and dump it in the water?
Because wouldn't it just be easier to burn it?
I guess.
And if they dump it into the water, it's pollution problems, right? Now
they're already in a drought.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you have seen any of the images or not, but I mean, I could see this as something that would actually work.
You think?
You know what I mean?
Burning and giving children
no, because like no, okay, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I used to love watching.
Pollution.
I used to love watching the Ancient Alien stuff, right?
Yeah.
And there was one topic that got into where it was area. What was it? Area. What's that alien base or whatever out there in Nevada?
Area 51. Area 51.
I knew it was 51, but I wasn't sure. I was thinking of our Discord. By the way, it's linked in the description. So I couldn't remember. I was thinking Area 76, but it's 51. But that guy was trying to demo me. But like I was saying though, they talked about all the nuclear waste that they would end up having inside the facility, right? This guy who used to work with him, he talked about all of their bad practices. The reason why it was such like, hidden, quote unquote. Oh, I'm getting a score on. My bad. The reason why it was such like a hidden base or whatever is because they were over there burning nuclear waste. Now that is a very dangerous practice. It's very, got a lot of pollution, obviously, and is involved with it. And a lot of the people that were involved in burning it ended up, getting fucking sick. I mean, now, if say this was a regular practice for Area 51, people started, leaking that information. Our government started getting a little bit of trouble about it. Then it wouldn't be such of a stretch to expect it to happen on like a scale where they would cover it up with a forest fire. That was actually a nasty flick, by the way. Great job.
Made the guy leave.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but why? Again, why? Like, if you know you're burning nuclear waste, you're about to give kids cancer. Like, what are you trying to do? Population control? So, like, what's happening there? Like, why?
I guess it's a little bit of everything. Now, I haven't done research in all these conspiracy theories, right? So don't expect like the full background and all of that. Just if you want to look into it, I'm just bringing up the topics we're talking about a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
oh yeah, because I know little to nothing about this conspiracy theory. I'm just kind of bouncing off what I'm hearing right now.
Yeah. So from what I understand is, there was no way that was going to be able to move out all of that nuclear waste. Obviously, it's radioactive. It would cost too much money, and I'm pretty sure it was an abandoned facility, is what I understand, right? So it would be a waste of tax dollars. It would cost us way too much money. And
okay, well, real quick on that one, it'd be a waste of tax dollars as they have a satellite in the air that can shoot down a god ray to catch a forest on fire.
Well,
where did
that's
those
different.
tax dollars come from?
That comes from the military budget. Okay, now the military budget, as we both know, is huge. So they can do whatever they want. But when it comes to civil services and stuff like that, we don't get enough money for that. We'll just ask the military if they want to practice their beams of rays from God on our own place. Now, do I think it is bigger than just burning nuclear waste? Yes. Like, if this is actually something that is true, it has got to be bigger than that. There is no way that people are just burning down California just to get rid of some nuclear waste. They'll do that in their freaking garage, right?
So that's what I was about to say was, okay, God ray. We've never seen this God ray before ever. It's never been mentioned. So,
yeah,
so you think this is practicing of the, like, this is their testing phase? They're like, let's burn down some nuclear shit.
Yeah.
Get that gone, kill some kids in California, and now we know we can kill kids overseas. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, from what I'm thinking is that it had to been practiced. They needed to try it out, see if it works. They have the technology. Why not use it? Why not use it? So the other thing, shoot, I almost had that. The other thing I was thinking of though is there was something else going on. I don't know what. Nobody probably knows. Nobody will probably ever know. But as well as I do, the stock market and conspiracy theories have a hand in each other. Whenever there's money involved, there's always a conspiracy theory. So whoever, was watching the stock market right before that happened, they probably know better than we, where the money went, all the insurance, who knows? But highly suggest watching Shane's video on it. He goes more in depth, stuff behind it. So check that out. But on to the next topic.
Let's go for it, man. Let's ride that segue.
Okay. Oh man, this one's gonna be a risky one, but it's fun. Yeah, this whole video is risky because it's a conspiracy theory video.
Let's do it. What's this next?
So, the next one is about North Korea. Surprise.
Oh, God.
yeah.
What happened in North Korea, man? They threatened to nuke us, and then they didn't nuke us, and now we haven't heard from them since.
Yeah. So, there's a YouTuber. You should definitely check out his video. Nice block. It's called
like a packet loss or something right now. It's lagging like wild. That's a goal.
Oh,
But yeah, it's what?
sorry, my computer just blew out. It's about North Korea's airport, and he goes in there. And North Korea, apparently, they're the only country and only place where they have a 1-star airport. Like, not even joking, it's 1 star, right?
Oh, God.
When he goes in there, it was completely empty. Not a person in there. The doors were locked. He had to have 2 guides that had the security, basically background checked him, searched through all of his stuff. And, dude, I mean, I don't know if it freaks y'all out at all, but you gotta think, man, like, not but like a year or 2 ago, they were gonna nuke us. Now we're signing deals with them?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. That is weird, but what I don't get the whole thing about the airport though. Like 1-star airport, can't get in or without guides. You're checking all of shit.
Right.
What's up with all that?
So now he was talking mainly about the airport, but while he was filming the video, I was looking around throughout the video, right? Sorry, but basically what happened was, while he was driving in the, I guess it was taxi service, a bus or whatever, he filmed outside the windows. And dude, they have some of these like buildings that look like, it's a regular city, like New York City or something like that. Not as amazing, not as grand, but they're actually like really nice places. But the weirdest thing is, the whole fucking place was empty. You would only see like 1 or 2 people on the street out of this whole entire place that basically looks like Memphis, dude. Like Memphis. Do you ever see Memphis empty? No.
No,
like,
a lot of homeless people.
Ah.
Yeah, that brings me to something that I saw online. Nothing to do with the airport, but I do remember seeing a video. I don't know if it was on Facebook or what, but
Yeah.
there's a guy. They were like on a tour bus through North Korea, checking the place out. Those little tours people have been doing ever since after the nuclear stuff. And they were like taking him down the street that was supposed to be like one of their most popular business streets and this, that, and the other. And they had a bunch of people that were like, quote unquote, working on computers and stuff. You could see them through the window. It was like a beautiful place.
Yeah.
But the guy like took his camera or whatever he was doing to record, and he kind of like shifted it to the side of the building, and none of the computers were on. They were just sitting there pretending to type and work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, I wonder what the point of that is. Like, why?
Was he recording them or something, or interviewing them?
He was just like, he was a bystander who just wanted to go tour Korea, get some footage, and that's just one of the things he caught was like a building full of people working on computers, but when he like tilted his computer over there typing on a blank computer, nothing was cut on or anything.
I guess it's to make them look like they're like always working, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like an Asian thing. I can understand it kind of. They don't want to seem like they're not actually working, you know what I mean? Like, probably what was happening was nothing was actually going on. They had nothing, but they still ended up like just acting like that anyways. Just because, they can't ever act like they're not busy.
Well, I did see, I've heard a lot of like weird stuff about North Korea. Like, you see a lot of photos of like the Kim Jong-un. He's sitting there smoking a cigarette and whatnot, but tobacco's banned in North Korea, and he's the one who banned it. He's the only one allowed to smoke cigarettes.
Really?
Yeah. Which is wild. Apparently, if you go to North Korea and you're like, and you say that the guy shits, like if you're like, yeah, Kim Jong-un shits, they will decapitate you. The people there are brainwashed to believe that the man does not take shits.
Oh my god.
Yeah, North Korea is a wild place, apparently.
Jeez, man.
I read a whole article about all that stuff back when everything was going on.
Yeah. The thing that concerns me though is I feel like the reason why it's like that is now this is like a pretty big thing. out in most countries like that where they have dictators and whatnot. I feel like the reason why they don't have anybody out in the streets, why there's people acting like they're working and whatnot, this isn't like any kind of conspiracy I don't think I've heard before, but I just came up with it, you know, because it makes a lot of sense, right? Why would they have all these buildings? Why would they have all of that? Nobody be out there, right? You could say, oh, well, the whole entire country's living in poverty. Nobody can get a job or anything. Well, there's plenty of jobs, right? They got all these buildings, they got all these facilities. You know, I'm sure they could find, you know, a job if they just apply somewhere, right? I feel like it's not that they don't have enough people. It's not that all their people is in poverty. I feel like they moved a lot of their people into the military, concentration camps, and he's filling his army. If you didn't know this, North Korea has one of the biggest armies in the whole entire world, and they're one of the small, you know, they're not a huge country at all by any means. They're like second to maybe the U.S., right? They have a huge army. I feel like he's moved all of his people to the military. Now, why would he do that? Really think about it, man. You think this guy who threatened to nuke us, not but like a couple, you know, a couple years ago, right, is just gonna be like, oh, okay, peace treaty, yeah, that's fine, nice job. It doesn't work that way. I don't think it's gonna work that way. It's naive to even think it would work that way, right? Now, I don't know if it's like completely true, even partially true, but I mean it is something to think about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like just think about this. As soon as he feels ready, he's gonna mobilize that military, that big, humongous military. And dude, I don't know.
Oh, another fun fact about Korea that I just remembered. They're only allowed to like on TV. You have old Korean music that the government allows you to like listen to and like watch the. I guess there's a video for it or whatnot, and you get Korean news, and that's it. That's all you get. You get North Korean news that the government approves of, and you listen to the music that they approve of, and that is the only thing they have on TV. Which is wild.
Wow. That is wild.
But do you hear that, dude? That sound?
Yeah, I think it's because of the, like you said, the packet loss or something.
No, it's a different sound. Listen closely. It sounds like a miniature car.
What is that?
I think it's a Segway.
It's a segue.
It's a segue.
What do you mean?
To the next topic. What's the next conspiracy theory? North Korea is going to get us in trouble. We continue talking about it like that.
I know.
We're going to get a nuke.
All right,
dude.
so
Straight to our house. Little mini nukes.
we went from bad to worse
Yeah,
with
bad
this
to
one.
worse. Let's get something even worse.
Oh Jesus. I mean it's not okay. Let's don't take that out of context. Anti-vaxxers, anti-vax moms, and anti-vaxxers, they are banned from GoFundMe.
Anti-vaxxers are banned from GoFundMe?
Yes, they are banned from GoFundMe.
Why?
Found that on a news article. I didn't actually get to read it before we started this, but I felt like should have been something we should bring up because I mean, dude, that's pretty huge.
Are they actually banned? Like, how do you know if someone's an anti-vaxxer or not?
I don't know. I have no idea. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull up two of these. I'm pulling both up because this is actually getting pretty deep. You know, some pretty deep doo doo, man. So anti-vaxxers get banned from GoFundMe. Alex Jones gets banned from YouTube, social media, and stuff like that. Now, do you know who Alex Jones is?
Yeah, he thinks that the government has a bomb that's turning the freaking frogs gay.
And Hillary Clinton's a lizard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess why they banned him?
Not enough gay bomb.
No. Here's one of the last conspiracies. Conspiracy videos will be probably getting banned from YouTube. They will be getting taken down.
So this video is just gonna get straight up banned. We're making a banned video.
That actually threw me off. Yeah, possibly. I don't think it's ever gonna pass. That's why I thought we should brought it. I think we should bring it up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just because, oh dang. Yeah, but they're planning on banning conspiracy theories.
Banning conspiracy. For what reason? Because the people are knowing too much now.
No, I highly doubt that people know too much. I hate Ford cars. Holy
Like
crap!
Hillary Clinton, those deleted messages in her email, they were all talking about her lizard diet.
Yeah.
Like, this is
So
what I need. Now that people know too much, so we banned the conspiracy theories altogether.
I feel like the thing they're using is, conspiracy videos and stuff like that. They are dangerous to society. Is what they're
Dangerous
going.
to society.
Dangerous to society. Yeah.
Ooh, I could get into a topic about that. I'll save it for a different day.
Yeah. So, next time we do one of these conspiracy videos, I'll do a little more. No.
What save?
It was a close one. But so we're gonna go over these three topics real briefly, right? More briefly on the anti-vaxxers. I'm not gonna get deep into that. Let's just not go too deep in that. But I thought it was interesting because a public funding site, right? Like where the community can come together and be like, hey, I want to fund these people. They've been banned from that. Now, I'm not a believer in anti-vaxxers. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that is dangerous. I do believe that is dangerous to society. But to ban them from GoFundMe is kind of like a dangerous statement that you're saying. You know what I mean?
Well,
like you're
I
basically.
myself am a proud anti-vaxxer.
Oh God, no, you're not. I know you're not. Are you?
No,
Please
no,
tell
I'm
me
not
you're
an
not.
anti-vaxxer.
Okay.
That's dumb, dude. Your kids are gonna die the second they go to kindergarten. That's
Yeah.
dumb.
So it's like it just doesn't make any sense to me that GoFundMe would do. Oh, I didn't think you were gonna touch it. Yeah, it was actually sick, but I didn't think that I feel like the media plays too much into stuff, right? Now, I'm a strong believer in human rights, right?
Yeah.
First 10 amendments, a Bill of Rights. I think it was the first 10, right? And I feel like, sure, it's your own website and whatnot. You're allowed to, I guess, ban them if you want. I mean, I just see it as, kind of a bad move. Anti-vaxxers aren't they're not spewing some crazy conspiracy theories. They just think that vaccinations are bad for their kids. Now, there's no law saying that you have to get your kids vaccinated. So, who cares, right? I mean,
guess, but what I'm confused on the whole thing is how do you know that somebody is an anti-vaxxer? Like, how do you know that enough to ban them? How do you know somebody's
it's like
an anti-vaxxer?
you know how there's like a Nazi group and whatnot, like neo-Nazis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. It's not really an individual per se. It's more of a company. You know what I mean? Not really a company. I guess it's more like a.
I was going to say, you think anti-vaxxers are a whole company?
No. I'm trying to think while I'm trying to score. Bummed it. But yeah, it's like you get what I'm saying. They're like a publicly funded group of people.
Oh wait, anti-vaxxers are publicly funded?
Yeah, from GoFundMe.
Oh, okay, so that's why they're banned. We're not gonna fund anti-vaxxers. Okay, I can get that. Yeah, don't fund the idiots who are killing off their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, that I can agree with. What I thought you meant was anti-vaxxers aren't allowed to go on to GoFundMe anymore. Like, they're just not allowed to donate.
No, they are a publicly funded group, mainly by the community now. Taken off of, good old. Did I miss it again? Holy crap, dude! How many nuts up?
It's like didn't like the smallpox come back like after years of not being a thing, and then anti-vaxxers just like what? Like, why would you do that? The vaccine, like, okay, I get what they're going for. Like, oh, vaccines can give my kids this, that, and the other, and autism and whatnot. But Go to school, man. You learn like how genes
Yeah.
work in like 5th grade. Like that's
I feel like what should happen though is it shouldn't. Oh my god, they almost just knocked it into their own net. There shouldn't. I don't know. I feel like the reason why these kind of groups are coming up, these neo-Nazis, stuff like that, is because a lack of education. I mean, I don't want to say it like that. But that's what I feel like. They're educated to believe that, you know, that vaccinations are bad, which, they have that small percent of the side effects, but they don't get all the information, right? There's side effects of not using the vaccination, which are more dangerous to our society and to your own child. Way more. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. I don't understand how people can believe in this stuff. But are conspiracy theories bad? No. Are the people that believe them bad? No. Are they, I don't want to say all conspiracy theories, if you believe in them, that you're just dumb, but I believe you should do your own research. Don't take what we say or what other people say as brick and mortar, right? Just do your own research. Always look into it. Don't just believe everything you hear, especially on the internet, especially on media. Just don't do that. It's not the smartest thing.
Oh yeah, I mean conspiracy theories. There are some where like even I'm like, yeah, that feels like it's right. Like that feels like it's a real thing after doing like some long-term research on it.
Yeah.
But then there's some that are just outlandish. Like they're fun to entertain, and that's about it. like yes, do I believe aliens exist? Absolutely. We're not the only life forms in this entire universe. Do I think all the UFO sightings and stuff like that have been real? Nah, not really. No, if there was a civilization more advanced than us, then we'd probably have been, like, become their slaves a long time ago. Like a long, long time ago.
If not, they would have just completely just squashed us to test out some of their weapons. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think they would ever actually. If they even saw us, they'd probably be like, "Who are these idiots?" Next planet. They exactly. They wouldn't even socialize with us. They wouldn't even want to absorb our intellect because we have none compared to them.
Yeah, compared to them, we have nothing.
Yeah, if they could travel all the way across the universe, on a spaceship, light years away from their own planet, we have nothing they need. Okay, absolutely nothing. Oh, but what about growing a community? Fuck that, man. Like, if they are that deep into technology and they're intellectually, they probably don't even care about any of that. You got to understand, religion is, it's completely different than how we would do it or how they would do it, right? They probably, probably didn't even have religion. Who knows? It's an alien place, alien people. They probably are completely different from how we are. They probably deem, intellectually beings that are smarter than the other or more powerful. They don't compare in strength or how tall you are or how, handsome you look. That all of that is just mediocre to them, maybe,
Now, what would you do if an alien just showed up like today? Like, what would you do? Just like an alien form?
I'd shit my pants and I'd call Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got his number on speed dial for that situation. Everybody has it.
Yeah.
It's like number 2 on their phone. They click it and they click call, and he's sitting there like it's time.
Yeah. I've been waiting. Honestly, like the second I see one, I'm calling up Neil deGrasse Tyson's secretary, and I'm just like, hey, look, drop whatever you're doing. I know this sounds crazy. I know that you probably get a million calls like this, but I'm a dude out and blah, blah, blah. This is my name. This is me. This is my social security number. I'll give it all to him. I'm just like, look, I need you down here ASAP. Right now. Do a background check, make it like 30 seconds or less. Get it done and get out here. There's an alien. My man.
There is an alien here, dude. I don't think you understand.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, there'd be no one else to call. Like, who else than the man who is literally known for physics? And, I'd probably actually call Bill Nye, too. I mean, honestly, I'd probably get them both. If I could, I'd get them both.
Yeah, fuck the U.S. military. Fuck, any form of militarized anything. Let me call the 2 smartest men to come handle
what
this
is the
shit.
military gonna do? They're gonna probably
shoot
shoot. Yeah, they're gonna shoot. Do you speak English? You don't? We shoot. Like, no, we're not doing that. That's not happening. I wouldn't call the military in that situation. I'd call the 2 smartest men to decide what the next steps are when approaching this alien, in terms of greetings, in terms of socializing, in terms of everything. Okay, they would know better than anyone, I believe, right? But oh shoot, I lost my notes page. Hold on, I gotta pull that back up.
Yeah. Now I know you said there was something me and you had talked deeply about, and I'm guessing you were saving that one for last.
No, well, that was the North Korea one. We talked about like yeah, because we got into that when we weren't recording, just because like it's just an interesting topic, man. Like if that doesn't spook you, I don't know what will.
Yeah, North Korea, man, scary
did that
place.
dude dirty. Yeah, it's
maybe they're
really
all
scary.
aliens there. Maybe that's why no one's like the aliens are taking their army.
Holy crap. But yeah, do you want to just go ahead and get into that last topic?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Because it's a pretty interesting one. Now, it's covered by a lot of documentaries, a lot of different people and stuff like that, right? But I feel like the main thing about it is that there's a trending topic that always comes up when it comes to flights, okay? Now, it's the idea that... Oh, wow. Nice job. He demoed me in the back. But it's a trending topic that when you are flying an airplane, if you're going over the Bermuda Triangle or you get some weird turbulence, you are now set into a wormhole. There apparently is wormholes that appear in the air and somehow catch some of our flights. Now they try to explain this with magnetic forces over the Bermuda Triangle is what they are thinking, right? Now this is like I said, covered in a lot of documentaries. Probably if you get on Ancient Aliens, you'll probably find an episode where they do one about it. But more particularly, I'm going to cover the one about Amelia Earhart and the man who said he slipped through time and came back, right? Now, first off, I want to cover him because this man basically said he was flying. I don't know what trajectory or where he was flying to, but apparently he was going over the Bermuda Triangle, right? Now, what happened was he had started his flight, single man flight, right? It was just little pilot, going through there, one man plane, fun. And as soon as he gets over it, he enters this turbulence. He starts going like pretty back and forth on the plane. And what happened, he said, scared the crap out of him, right? Like if
you're flying a plane and you get turbulence, you're gonna shit yourself. That's everybody.
Well, most pilots are pretty used to it, but he said the turbulence.
I'd shit myself.
Started like the whole entire clouds and everything around him started to spiral.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
No. So it wasn't going around him in a horizontal fashion, but in a vertical fashion. He would imagine there was like a spinny pendulum right in front of him, like in front of his eyes. That's what he was seeing. It was just swirling, right? And he said when he came out through the other side, all he saw was jungles and dinosaurs.
What the hell?
Yeah. I'm gonna get this guy back real quick.
No, you're
sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But jungles and dinosaurs, man.
Yeah, jungles and dinosaurs. That's what he says.
What year was this though that this happened?
Who knows? The year it happened?
Yeah. Like, was it like modern? Like, Were there cameras in the time frame that he was around doing
No.
Okay.
No.
Conveniently, no cameras, so no pictures of anything.
It was a single man plane. I doubt this. He said he had made the flight millions of times, like not literally millions, but a bunch of times. He was used to it, but this time it was a little different, right? Now, the reason why this is like no cameras, right? No nothing. He didn't get any pictures of anything, right? But this was confirmed through his radio, his headquarters. Like, right, he's got a guy on a radio who is checking his path and is checking what's going on with him, like almost, until he gets to where his destination is, right? And even the guy back in his headquarters said he had lost contact with them, and when he reappeared, he was maybe a couple kilometers out from where he was supposed to be, because he actually re-entered another wormhole and came right back out the other side.
Oh, what the hell? Conveniently there. So did he discover how the dinosaurs all died?
No. But he almost discovered how his own death was going to be through a velociraptor.
Okay, nice.
No, but
how wild will that be, man? You're just, you're taking a flight.
Just flying.
You want to go to Florida. You're just sitting there. There's a kid crying in the background. You're just annoyed out of your fucking mind. And then you see the clouds in front of you spiraling. You're thinking, all right, this is it. I'm dead. You're sitting there praying. You're doing whatever you do, and you're about to die.
Yeah.
And boom, you enter the clouds. You come out, and there's a fucking velociraptor flipping you off through the window. Like, I just imagine it, dude.
I know that's pretty sketch. But I mean, the guy said he came out a couple miles away. But the thing that was really weird was he came out at a different time frame. Like, he was supposed to come out of that. He was supposed to get in that distance that he traveled in maybe an hour or 2 hours, right? When he got there, it only had taken him like 15 minutes to get to that spot. There's no way you can do that with a single man plane. You would just burn out the engines if you were going that fast. There's no way, right? So all of this was confirmed. Everything was confirmed. Through them too, right? The guy back on the radio completely believes him. The guy who was flying the plane, he is a strong believer now, right?
I'd hope he'd strongly believe what he experienced.
Yeah, but now to say that the Bermuda Triangle had some hand in it, I don't know. I really don't. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I've been in the Bermuda Triangle before. I was on a cruise and we went straight through it.
Yeah.
And it did not seem out of the ordinary.
The thing that, the reason why they started, trying to figure this out, and they believe it's electromagnetic forces, is because right before he went out, right? Right before he went out, his compass, it started spinning, just like the spiral in front of him, I'm assuming. It started spinning wildly, like really, really fast. And everything went out. His radio, his everything went out. And next thing you know, he's in freaking, Jurassic Park. So, I mean, if that isn't the craziest thing you've heard, I don't know what is. But this is the craziest thing, from what I understand. Same guy, same everything. When he got to the other side, this is what he said. He didn't only just see dinosaurs and all of that, he also saw wreckage from other planes that had flown through it.
Really?
Yes, he had found crashed planes that had flown through this quote-unquote wormhole.
Okay, here's a question. All right. So, did the other pilots try to land? Did he try to land? Or did he just fly over it?
I'm assuming what happened was, so as you know, planes are, they're not the newest, or they're not the oldest technology. They're not perfect either. They have their own, things about them. Older planes, obviously, they're going to be less durable. They're not going to be able to withstand certain turbulence forces and whatnot, and they don't have that much gas. Now, the reason all of this came up is because they believe Amelia Earhart, I think that's how you say her name, she went down in that certain area or something like that is what they're thinking. And when they actually, you know, talked about Amelia Earhart and everything, the reason they believe, you know, she crashed in the first place was she wouldn't have made it to where she was going to. She didn't have enough gas, right? And then she just disappeared. I'm assuming she ran out of gas when she got through it and had to crash land because she couldn't make it, right? She couldn't make it back out the other side. She didn't know where she was at. And I'm assuming the other pilots tried to land if they had the same, you know, sort of, you know, model and more updated airplane, right? Because if you just came out through the other side to Jurassic Park, you're just like, well, there's no way I'm going back. I don't even know how I got here, right? So
that leads me to two questions. One, how did the guy even know where to go to get back, or was it just by pure coincidence?
Oh no, it was pure coincidence. He just kept flying straight. He was so freaked out, he just kept flying. I'm assuming. I would have been too. I wouldn't have been like, I'm not going down there.
And then
that dude would tear my hair off.
Has anybody else tried taking that same flight path?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there was a couple people that actually tried it. They wanted to try it for themselves, see how, you know, if it would happen to them. But I don't think something like that would ever happen again. Just, you know, flying in the same trajectory. I think it has to deal with a lot of things. That, if it is true, it deals with a lot of things that we don't understand that have to deal with time and space, right? Because that's what it comes down to. A wormhole is just a rip between time and space. I faked him. Oh, Michael.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. I mean, do I believe electromagnetic forces could bend time and space? It's a little bit of a stretch. With enough power, yeah, but I don't even think our own Earth could generate that much power with its own electromagnetic forces. Like, it's not that possible, right? Because our electromagnetic forces on the Earth are actually very weak, to be honest with you. It's actually very weak, but enough about that. I mean, what do you think? Do you think this wormhole, you know, flight is actually plausible?
No,
now,
not at all.
That being said, wormholes are scientifically plausible. That being said, generating the power for it, not so plausible. But they are a realistic thing. It's not just sci-fi. A wormhole is real, right? Just like black holes are, you know, real. Wormholes are also real. It's plausible. Like, you can do the math on it and it would work out. But that being said, the power needed to generate that is immensely.
Well, like you said, the Earth can't even produce enough power to create something like that. I would think if a wormhole above the Bermuda Triangle ever did happen to make something like that even possible for happening, it would have ripped the Earth to pieces.
Yeah, so, okay. Wormholes are pretty weird, you know, like, if you look into it, the best way a lot of the physicists like to describe it is by folding a piece of paper and sticking a pencil through it, right? Now, that being said, I don't know that the world can't generate that much power. I'm talking about, like, it's electromagnetic force, you know, that is like our North and South Pole. That's relatively weak forces, right? But if you get closer to the core, I'm sure it's pretty freaking powerful. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but if you get down, if you get closer to the core, very well possibly. But that was miles above the core. Miles.
Yeah, but that's the really weird thing, because this will start to make a little bit more sense, because I'm starting to think it out too while we're doing this. There's another theory why boats keep going down in the Bermuda Triangle. These vents from underwater, they bubble up and they basically pull the ship under from these vents that are, you know, basically, vents are basically like lava. They let out gas, and that was a nice shot. And the gas that comes up, it, you know, creates bubbles, a lot of these bubbles, and it will basically sink a ship. They've already tested this. A lot of tests have been done. They've checked it out. Yep, and it's right. So, and that's what they think. Now, for you to get to a certain point of lava, you have to be pretty deep in the water, I'm assuming. Like, lava just doesn't come up everywhere, you know what I mean? And if it did come up to the surface, it would be because, you know, there's land around it. So where you see land, there's usually lava. You know what I'm saying? But say the vents are that strong, right? It would only be, you know, somewhat plausible to think that maybe the you know, it goes pretty deep down into the core. You know what I'm saying? Because oceans are the deepest place on our Earth. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's only, you know, relatively. Oh Jesus! I almost freaking had that, and I just messed it up. It's only, like, you know, safe to assume that maybe it was pretty deep, and maybe all the magnetic forces and all that, you know, crazy stuff that happens at the core, maybe it's only being tamed because of the insulation from the crust. But I don't know how the crust insulates it. I don't know any about that. I just know, like, you know.
What you're thinking, though, is you think it is plausible that something underneath the Bermuda Triangle causes all those things to happen.
Dude, I don't know if anybody's been down to the Bermuda Triangle.
I don't think anybody's been to the bottom of the ocean, like, completely.
Oh, no, nobody has. Dude, if we had people at the bottom of the ocean, we'd probably know so much. Oh, I almost had him.
Jonah, deep space and deep ocean scare the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, for the longest time, and I still kind of do, I believe, like, maybe there is a Loch Ness monster, like, somewhere just deep down. Like,
there's definitely something big down there. It could be small. It could be like a foot, and there's still something menacing out there. Like, there's so much we haven't discovered. Like, didn't they just recently, within like the last couple of years, discover like giant squids?
Oh, like, you mean like yeah, you mean like what are they called? Jesus, look like Kraken.
yeah, they straight up looked like a Kraken, but they aren't.
Yeah. I forgot the name of them. Yeah, but yeah, they just recently discovered that, and they were. I mean, like, they kind of knew about them, you know, the books and the fairy tales and stuff like that, and they kind of like were like, yeah, that I think we actually think they're real, and then recently actually found one. So, you know, we don't know a lot about the ocean at all. It's safe to say that we know little to nothing about the ocean, except for what it's made of. The animals in it, we don't really know. The plants in it, we kind of know, but really, you know, that's a stretch. You know what I mean? How deep it is, we got a good understanding thanks to sonar and stuff like that. But it's pretty safe to say that there's something in there that we haven't seen yet that would scare the shit out of me. Because in general, the ocean scares the shit out of me. Like, if you had to choose, Michael, between, you know, having to free fall and trying to grab you a parachute, or try and survive in the ocean for like maybe 3 days, which would you choose? A free fall that lasts maybe a couple seconds, and there's a parachute that's falling right next to you.
So when you say survive in the ocean, are we talking about like I can go as deep as I want kind of deal, or? Oh
no, I mean, you're sitting at the top, the tippy top.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd free fall.
Yeah, I'd free fall too. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
Because that's the scary part about it. With the ocean, at least some of the ones that I've been to, I haven't been to many, but like just being in the water and looking down, it's kind of clear, and then a couple more feet down, it just goes pitch black.
I know.
You don't know what the fuck's there.
Yeah, and just think, man, the second you scratch your leg, you get like a cut on it, dude, they're gonna be on you like white on rice, man. It's not even funny. All them things that are trying to eat you. No, thank you.
You know, I could live without that. That being said, though, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I think this has been a good close to an hour-long podcast. podcast. Hopefully we can keep them the same. I'm going to link Yo-Yo Boom in the description. Thank him for joining us again. He'll probably be on most of these, if not all of these. We'll try to get a special guest in every now and then. Hopefully Nobnar, a couple of my buddies, could join into that. Leave a comment if you got any topics to talk about. We're kind of new to this whole podcasting thing. We don't know if we should go by topics, free flow, what. We're just kind of experimenting around right now. If you're enjoying it, leave a like, let us know. Like I said, if you got any topics you want to hear discussed, let us know in the comments, and we'll study up on it and give you our opinions.
Don't forget to subscribe.